catcher. Batting second is number 4, Ricky Miller, center field. Third is number 13, Brody Pruitt, pitcher. Fourth, number 20, Clay Reed, shortstop. Fifth, number 6, Peyton Harper, first base. Sixth, number 14, Kelton Parks, third base. Batting seventh, number 5, Cade Woolaway, second base. Batting eighth, number 3, Toby Bruton, left field. Batting ninth, number 10, Chad Mayer. Their substitutes are number 11, Ty Hudson, number 19, Brandon View, number 30, Grant Bradford, and they are coached by Chase Cantwell.
All right, and for your home team, the Blue Eye Bulldogs, batting first is number 11, Jarrett Crothamel, who will be playing shortstop. Batting second, number 4, Keegan Hobbs, pitching. Batting third, number 14, Chase McClenathan, who will be doing the catching today. Number 2, Jeremiah George, will be batting fourth and playing first. Number 10, Brandon Box, playing third. Number 8, Michael Cruz, will be DHing. Number 23, Ryan Cardenzana, will be playing second base. Number 13, Lance Clark, will be playing center field. Number 7, Dakota Powers, will be playing left. And number 3, Daniel Jones, will be playing right field for your Bulldogs. The reserves for the Bulldogs are Braden Boyd, Roman Ray,
I don't know. I think they're about to do this.
and are coached by Dustin Avers, and the assistant coach is Josh Parrish. Now we'll be cutting to the national anthem in just a moment. All right, in just a moment we'll have the Wheaton Bulldogs start batting for us. And just a side note on the Blue-Eye Bulldogs, I did leave out a couple of substitutes in Davis and Johnson. I do apologize, but they are also on the team, and I believe I've caught up with everybody on the reserve list. Our first batter is number 7, Jack Mitchell. Looks like the ball was high there from Keegan Hobbs. All right, looks like we got a pop fly. Looks like a foul ball from what I could see. And if that's the case, the count is 1-1. Yeah, I believe so. We had a foul pop fly foul over on the right field side. Count is 1-1. Keegan throws high again. All right, Keegan throws one in there. The count is 2-2. 2 strikes on him. Number 7 will approach with a defensive swing at this point. All right, ball's a little bit outside. We got a full count going. All right, we had a foul tip that was caught. That is strike 3, swinging. All right, next bat for the Wheaton Bulldogs is number 4, Ricky Miller, who plays center field. All right, he puts it in play. Looks like on the right field side, I believe first base made the catch. First base would be Jeremiah George. All right, now number 13, the pitcher, Brody Pewitt, is up to bat. All right, swinging on the first pitch, he misses. The count is 0-1. All right, Keegan's up big with an 0-2 count on the pitcher, Brody Pewitt. All right, and here's the delivery from Hobbs. A little bit low. Not a bad pitch to waste right there to see if he'd chase. That's a 1-2 count. All right, he goes off the plate again. We got a 2-2 count now, evened it up. All right, down in the dirt that time. We got a full count again by Hobbs. Started off strong, but now struggling to get back at the batter. And he goes upstairs again, and Pruitt does draw a walk. All right, we have a runner on first now, and to bat for the Wheaton Bulldogs is number 20, Clay Reed, the shortstop. Okay, a little pickoff attempt to first base. Pruitt is back safe. All right, and Keegan comes set. He delivers the pitch. The runner is going, and he does make it safely to second after what appeared to be a pass ball And that would make the count 1-0, I believe, at this point. Runner on second is Pruitt. 2 outs. Keegan goes upstairs again a little bit. We're at 2-0, I believe, right now. Runner does stay at second. All right, goes off the plate again. A little wild pitch. Runner does advance to third. All right, looks like we got a 3-0 count. Time is called. Coach Avery's going to come out and talk to Hobbs, it looks like. All right, coach is probably just trying to settle down Hobbs a little bit, trying to get his control going once again. And again, we do have a runner on third, that is Pruitt, but we do have 2 outs. The run would not matter if we make the play. All right, he goes in there with the strike. I believe we have a 3-1 count now, if I'm correct. Hobbs is going to have to fight a little bit to get this batter. Ooh, just off a little bit. All right, and it does appear that Reed did draw the walk. All right, we have a first and third situation here. Let's see what Wheaton decides to do and see how Blue Eye reacts.
Peyton Harper, first baseman, is up to bat. He is number 6.
The runner is going to second and will be safe. The run from third will go in to score. All right, so that double steal did work in Wheaton's advantage, and we now have Clay Reed on second base. Ball is way up and in. And I apologize, I did not see the call on the first pitch, so I am not sure of the count right now. All right, he's up again. He does run. And Reed does advance to third on the steal. All right, low call there for a strike. And it looks like the count is 2-1, I believe the umpire said. All right, we're off. I'm sorry, it was a 3-1 count, which now is a ball four. Harper advances to first on the walk. Who do we have next, Tyler?
We have Kelton Parks, wearing number 14, and he is the third baseman.
All right, and we got another first and third situation for Wheaton. The last time they had this, they were able to pull off the successful steal and run scored. All right, Keegan's up and off the plate, so we have a 1-0 count.
Are you on third, Cole?
You can go to first. I feel like you can steal.
Okay, yeah, go to first.
Runner at first does not go. It looks like we have a 2-0 count. Runner will not go again. We now have a 2-ball, 1-strike count for the batter, Parks.
Third input.
Yes, sir.
Okay, runner is going to advance to second. Oh, yes, it looks like he will advance to second. A pass ball for second means the run at third will score, and we have Harper advancing to third at this point. Okay, it looks like we have a couple errors for the Blue Eye Bulldogs at this point. We do have a runner on third for Wheaton. All right, and we have a swing and strike right there. I believe the batter now has 2 strikes. We have a 2-2 count. Hobbs seems to be finding the plate a little bit better right now. He does go upstairs. And it appears a walk was drawn. Alright, it looks like Coach Avers is going to make a pitching change here. Keegan Hobbs will leave the mound, and it looks like Lance Clark will be doing the pitching for the Blue Eye Bulldogs for this game. We're going to take a quick audio break while the new pitcher warms up. All right, and we have another first and third situation, and we have Tyler. Who do we have coming up to bat?
We have Cade Walloway wearing number 5. He is the second baseman for the Wheaton Bulldogs.
All right, and let's see if they do anything with the double steal again to try to advance that runner at third or not. Clark comes set. Runner is going. The ball does get away from Chase behind the plate there. It looks like the runner at third will stay. Must have been some good coverage up there. But we now have runners on second and third. Clark comes set again. Clark leaves it up high. We have a 2-0 count for Woolaway.
Yeah, they're in the bag.
I'm at 37. Be good for a little bit though.
And Clark leaves it up high again. We have a 3-0 count. And still 2 outs. Blue Eye just can't seem to get that third out this inning. Let's see if they can get it right here. And Clark leaves it upstairs again, and we now have the bases loaded on some walks in the first inning from the Blue Eye Bulldogs.
We have left fielder Toby Bruton wearing number 3, up to bat.
And again, the bases are loaded, but we do have 2 outs. Any play at any base will get Blue Eye out of the inning and up to bat. Ball a little low and in, not a bad place to throw it. And Lance is a little off the plate again. Well, up and away it looked like. All right, and he's going to get back on the rubber and go back to work. Clark comes set. Clark throws one in there for a strike. We have a 2-1 count, I believe, isn't it, Tyler?
I believe so.
All right. All right, Clark getting back up again. Going to the plate, goes back down and in again. We have a 3-1 count now. Clark's going to have to throw one in the zone and make Wheaton put it in play, or he's going to send another Wheaton Bulldog on the bases due to a walk. Let's see what he does here. Looks like he gets it in there. We have a 3-2 count, full count with 2 outs. Ball gets away from Clark, but looks like Cardinzana was backing up, ready for anything. Good job, Ryan. Well, looks like Clark's getting ready to make his pitch. Just a little high, just above the letters. It looks like Bruton will draw the walk and will score another run for the Wheaton Bulldogs. The score at this point is 3-0 in favor of Wheaton. Bases are still loaded, but we do have 2 outs.
And number 10, Chad Meyer, right fielder, is up to bat.
All right, and first pitch from Clark is a strike to number 10, Chad Meyer. Let's see if he can keep that rolling right there. Looked like a pretty good little pitch. All right, and Clark got him swinging on that one. Clark's up big, 0-2. Let's see if Clark's going to go back with a strike or if he's going to try to pitch off the plate a little. Considering the situation, it might not be a bad idea to just go right on in and throw a strike in there. Overpowers it just a little bit, throws it into the dirt. Nothing hurt though. We have 1-2 count. McClendon was there to prevent the run from scoring. Again, 1-2 count, 2 outs. Clark comes set. Those in there a little high. You have a 2-2 count now. Clark, the freshman pitcher here in his young fall season. Okay, and he goes back upstairs. We got a full count again. Clark's going to have to throw one here or it's going to score another run. And ideally, you just at least want the batter to put the ball in play. If anything else, let your defense do some work. Hey, and he throws it in there. That's a looking strike 3. We are now going to the bottom of the first inning with the Wheaton Bulldogs ahead at this point, 3-0. All right, at the bottom of the first, due up for Blue Eye is number 11, Jarrett Crothamel, and Keegan Hobbs will be batting after that. And then batting the 3-hole will be number 14, Chase McClenathan.
Purple, white, and red.
Crothamel had been playing short to start the game, and Blue Eye's going to have to do some digging out of a hole here to at least even up this game, if not get ahead here. Pitch is delivered. Crothamel does put the ball in play. Looks like it's a pop-up to, I believe, the second baseman. So we had a pop-up on the right side. All right, now bat is number 4, Keegan Hobbs. Ball is high from number 13, Pruitt. We have a 1-0 count. Pruitt comes set again. Hobbs does put the ball in play, and it looks like we have a hit right behind the second base bag. Hobbs is safe, and there was an overthrow at first, but he decides not to go on the throw. So we do have a base hit for number 4, Keegan Hobbs. All right, let's see if Coach Avers gives the old steel call today, or if he lets Chase knock Keegan around on his own.
Thomas, you need to turn yours back on. You're off.
Keegan gets his lead.
No, it won't.
Hobbs does go, and it appears that Hobbs is, looks like he is safe.
Yes, I'm on you right now. You have to push that red power button on the right-hand side, Thomas.
All right, and I was not sure on the call at the batter. Chase McClenathan, though, getting ready to see the pitch. Ball is high from Pruitt. Hobbs does stay at second. Ball does get a little bit away from the catcher, but not enough for Hobbs to advance to third base. Good job by their catcher, Mitchell, in keeping that ball in front of him. McClenathan about ready to see a pitch again. McClenathan drives it to deep left field. It does get over the head of the left fielder. Hobbs will score, it looks like. McClenathan standing at second with the double.
Zoom out on the field.
All right, Hobbs does score. McClenathan advances to third base on the throw home. Good job by Chase McClenathan with his double and advancement to third base. The score is now 3-1. Wheaton over Blue Eye with 1 out.
Jeremiah George, number 2, wearing number 2, first baseman, is now up to bat.
I say if that happens, you hit the catch. So hit the popper, find the ball, and then try to shoot it.
And that was a pretty deep hit by McClenathan. It actually almost hit off the fence. Jeremiah does foul tip it back a little bit, so he has a 0-1 count. Both left fielder and center fielder on McClenathan's head had a little trouble trying to find the ball as well, but it was definitely hit over their heads. George back in at the plate. Pruitt ready to pitch. George takes one a little bit high. Looks like we have a 2-0 count. All right, and we have a 3-0 count, I believe. Again, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell what the umpire makes the call with looking back here, but it appears we have a 3-0 count. Pickoff attempt, third base. McClenathan's back in safely. Okay, looks like Jeremiah fouls it off to the right side over the home dugout. I believe Blue Eye takes the first base dugout at their place instead of the third base line. So looks like a foul ball over the home dugout. The ball looked like it hit George, but apparently it did not. But either way, it is a ball, so we have a 3-1 count, I believe. 3-1, or it might even be 3-2. I apologize. I think it's a 3-2 count.
I believe it is.
But George does put the ball in play. Looks like we have a hit out to shallow center field. That does score McClenathan, and Jeremiah George has a single in this ball game. Score is now Wheaton 3, Blue Eye 2.
Brandon Box, number 10, the third baseman, is now up to bat.
Okay, no go for Jeremiah George at first, but he does take a pretty big secondary. Whether he was trying to see if they would throw or balk, I don't know, but either way, had a pretty good secondary. Box does drive one fairly deep to, looks like left center, but the center fielder does make the catch, and it looks like Jeremiah George did not get back in time. He was not aware of the out situation, appeared. He took off running on the fly ball. He tried to get back, but he did not get back in time and was doubled up. Wheaton gets out of the inning. However, though, Blue Eye does add 2 runs. The score is now Wheaton 3, Blue Eye 2, after the caught fly ball in center and the pickoff to second base. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back. It looks like Clark's going to stay on the mound for the Blue Eye Bulldogs. And number 7, Jack Mitchell, is up to bat again. If you remember correctly, he was the leadoff hitter, and he did strike out his first appearance. But let's see how he does against Clark. Ball's left inside. We have a 1-0 count. All right, up and away from Clark. We have 2-0.
How much your battery at? 50? Yeah. Okay.
Clark leaves it up just a little high. It looks like everything is staying high for Clark today so far. Let's see if he can work all the way through the zone and get him down a little bit. He does get it down that time, but a little bit too much. It's in the dirt. And Mitchell will draw a walk in the second inning for Wheaton.
Number 4, Ricky Miller, the center fielder for the Wheaton Bulldogs, is now up to bat.
And Miller, last time he flied out, I believe, to the first baseman, Jeremiah George, his last at bat. We do have Mitchell on first. Usually if we have a person in that leadoff spot, they usually do have a little speed, so we probably have to keep an eye on him. He does go, and it looks like he is going to be safe at second. It was a good jump and a good lead by number 7, Jack Mitchell from Wheaton there. And not a bad throw from Chase McClinton. It's just he had the better jump and the better go. And Miller back up again. Clark coming set. I have to keep an eye on the second base runner. They pull off a bunt. The bunt goes to McClinton right at the catcher spot. He does throw down to first, and I believe the runner is out at first, but it does advance the runner from second to third. And now Wheaton has a ball player in Jack Mitchell in scoring position at third base after the sacrifice bunt by Ricky Miller.
Brody Pruitt, their pitcher, number 13, is now up to bat.
All right, and with one out, Wheaton's in a pretty good position to score another run here. A strikeout would be really big, or an infield fly, something along those lines. Clark's going to go up, and Pruitt is going to chase. That is strike one. Right, almost had him swinging, but not quite. Goes down just a little bit. Ball one there. Not sure if that was called by McClinton or if it was just accidental, but really was not a bad pitch, considering that he almost went after it. And that pitch right there is a strike, so we're now at 1-2 with the runner still on third. Again, Clark's in a pretty good position right now. If he can get that third strike across, Blue Eye will be in a lot better position than if he doesn't. All right, he does put it in play, and it appears the run will score, and it looks like we have a base hit. No, I apologize. They did get him at first base. Pruitt was called out on the play. Again, I could not exactly tell where the ball was, but we do have 2 outs now in the top of the second. Run does score, however, though. Wheaton now leads 4-2.
Clay Reed, number 20, their shortstop, is now up to bat.
First pitch from Clark is up and away.
I think that's the second
Oh,
pitch.
second pitch, I'm sorry. Is it a 2-0 or a 1-1 count, Tyler?
2-0. The first one was
Okay.
inside and low.
All righty. We have a 2-0 count here then. Runner on third. I'm sorry, there's no runner on third. That runner did score previously.
That's a 3-0 count now.
All right.
So let's say that there's someone on third, and then he's getting walked.
They won't go home. They take home on a walk.
Ball is in the dirt. 4-0 count. And that was Reed, correct?
I believe so.
Reed does draw his second walk of the game.
Number 6, Peyton Harper, their first baseman, is now up to bat.
And last time Harper was up, he also drew a walk when he was up to bat. I believe it went to a full count, but he did draw the walk off of it. Clark's going to come set. Check on the runner. He is going to attempt to pick off. The runner does go and does steal second. So Clay Reed does advance to second on the steal.
The battery, it was a 50%, now it's dead. It was completely off, but it was at 50% earlier. Push the power button over there and see if you can get anything.
All right, and Clark comes back set again. Going to go to the plate. Ball is low and in the dirt. The runner will stay at second. There'll be no advancement. McClenathan doing a great job of keeping the ball in front of him.
Okay, so you're all we got right now. What?
Lance, the freshman, comes set again. Kicks and delivers. It's a low strike, but a strike nonetheless.
No, because that's
And
internal battery or something.
I believe our count is 1-1 or 2-1.
I think. Can you think of anything? We've got one of those micro HDMI's on Cole.
All right, ball does hit the batter, it appears. He will be going down to first base, and the runner will stay at second base because of the hit by pitch. Harper is hit and will take first base, and that'll bring up who, Tyler?
That'll bring up number 14, Kelton Parks, their third baseman.
All right, and also last time Parks was up, he walked as well. It looks like Blue Eyes having a tough time finding the zone today on the mound. Let's see if Clark can get settled in and put an end to that. Ball's up and away, it looks like a little bit, so the count is 1-0 on Parks. We do have a runner on first and second. So ground ball to the left side. Old Box could step on third and get us out of this inning.
You want to go over there and take over for him so he can blow his mouth?
Runners do go. The double steal is successful. Wheaton will now take second and third. Clark leaves one way up high.
I'm going to go get an extension cord so that we can plug that one camera back in.
Grab a roll of toilet paper while you're at it.
All right, Clark goes again. Ball looked like it was a little bit up or out, one or the other. And it looks like Parks will also draw a walk. Again, Blue Eyes just having a tough time finding the zone here. It looks like we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 walks by Blue Eyes so far and 1 hit by pitch. Again, really struggling to find the zone today. Looks like Coach Avers will come out. Looks like he'll get the ball from Lance, and he will go with, it looks like Michael Cruz. I believe Michael Cruz will go on the mound here and continue pitching for the Blue Eye Bulldogs. Tyler, who we got upcoming after Michael warms up?
I believe it is number 5, Cade Wallaway, their second baseman.
Cade Wallaway will be up, and again, he walked last time he was up, and it does look like Michael Cruz, looks like he will enter the game as the pitcher, and that means Daniel Jones, if Daniel Jones was being DH'd for, which I believe he was, Daniel Jones will then leave the ball game at this point. So Michael Cruz will now, yes, Michael Cruz will now enter the game, and Daniel Jones will leave. If I'm looking at this correctly, the lineup card is a little different than what I'm used to here, so. Getting up the bat again, as Tyler just said, is Cade Woolaway, their second baseman. Again, walked last time he was up. Cruz, first pitch of the game, a low strike, 0-1 count. Well, if he could keep that pitch there, that's a hard one to hit, even if it is called a strike. Looks like he goes off the plate with it, about the same height, but it's a 1-1 count now. Okay, the ball is put in play. Looks like it was hit to the third baseman, Brandon Box. And I believe the play was made at first. So our play in the scorebook there would go 5-3 on the play from Brandon Box at third to Jeremiah George at first. Michael Cruz getting the Blue Eye Bulldogs out of that inning defensively. We do have a score at the now bottom of the second. Wheaton 4, Blue Eye 2, with, I believe, Michael Cruz coming up to bat in the next inning. Next half inning. All right, Michael Cruz is up the bat now for Blue Eye Bulldogs. If you remember, Michael Cruz came in last half inning and got the Blue Eye Bulldogs out of the jam after a few walks there. First pitch to Cruz, he's a little out in front of it. Swinging strike one. Pitch again to Cruz. Cruz does put the ball in play. It looks like we are hit to center field, straightaway center. Number 4 does make the catch. Number 4 being Ricky Miller, makes the catch in center field after Michael Cruz puts a little pop fly over into center.
We have number 23, Ryan Cardenzana. He is the second baseman up to bat now.
Ryan's going to try to beat out a bunt for a base hit. Cole, one of our camera operators, when he used to play some junior high ball for me, used to be the Mr. Cardenzana trying to put down the bunt for the base hit. But Cardenzana drives the ball to left field. Looks like he gets a nice little hit to left field. Cardenzana is at first with a base hit. That is one thing I like about this young man. He's a scrappy little dude. He makes up for it with his fight. He is surprising to say the least. But Ryan Cardenzana gets the base hit to left field.
Number 13, Lance Clark, the center fielder, is up to bat.
Almost.
Okay, it looks like they're doing a pickoff attempt to Ryan over at first. And he does get back easily in time. But we have the freshman duo up right now, the lefty Lance Clark up the bat and Ryan Cardenzana over at first. Ryan decides to stay over at first. We have a 1-0 count now on Clark. And I'll go back to Cardenzana's hit. That was a nice little hit. Faked the bunt, pulled back, put a nice little hit over in the left field. Caught the defense off guard, definitely. Ball's a little up and away to Clark. Cardinzana will stay. It doesn't appear that Cardinzana is going to be stealing, but I could be totally wrong here. Okay, Clark does take a swinging strike right there.
Okay, now I gotta pick full. Stay on it for a minute. Get your back in, Thomas, and I'll cut to you, bud.
All right, and the pitch to Clark. Cardinzana is going to go. He's going to go into second standing. Nice stolen base for Cardinzana, putting those wheels on after the base hit.
Nice.
A little quick infield visit to Pruitt up on the mound there by his middle infield. If Clark can dump that ball over into right field, Cardinzana will have a chance to score, and I think that's what Blue Eye's hoping for right now. Ball's in the dirt. Looks like another ball, which will draw the walk for Lance Clark. We have back-to-back base runners now for Blue Eye, and Cardinzana and Lance Clark.
Number 7, Dakota Powers, the left fielder for Blue Eye, is now up to bat.
And Dakota here, another freshman. They have a pretty big freshman class this year for Blue Eye, and these guys are just really stepping up and playing well. It looks like he was going to attempt a bunt there, but pulls back. The ball one. On the roster, on the starting roster here, Box, Clark, Powers, and Jones, who originally played right field, all freshman starters on the varsity squad this year. Powers attempts a bunt again, but called strike after he pulled back. Looks like we have 1-1 count with Powers, with runners at first and second. Let's see if Powers tries to put the bunt down again.
So if he hits the ball,
He's showing bunt, pulls back, and that is a ball. The runners do advance. Cardinzana and Clark advancing to second and third on the stolen bases.
Okay, Thomas, if he hits this, third base is going to go home, so you're going to need to kind of zoom out a little bit and then get third base and then follow him home.
All right, and again, in a pretty decent spot to score some runs here. Does call strike. The umpire calls a strike. We now have a 2-2 count, I believe. If Powers puts the ball in play. All right, he does. It appears he struck out. Yeah, it does look like Dakota Powers does strike out. And I believe we should be going to the top of our batting order again with Jarrett Crofhamel. Is that correct, Tyler?
Yes, we are. He is the shortstop, and he is at the top of our rosters.
All right, Crofhamel with 2 outs here. See if he can drive in those 2 runs. First pitch is off the plate a little bit. If Blue Eye could drive in those 2 runs, that would tie up the ball game. We'll score 4-2 right now. Crofhamel does put the ball in play. And it looks like it's a foul ball on the left side. I believe we had a ground ball foul over by the third base line. And that will send the runners back. Cardinzana back to third and Clark back to second. And we have Crofhamel with, I believe, a 1-1 count. Is that correct, Tyler?
I think so.
All right. Either way, he puts the ball in play, and it looks like we have a base hit to center field. That will score 1 run. It looks like Clark was being waved around. Clark does score, and Crofhamel's going to advance to third. Crofhamel goes in with a double, and he's going to actually end up on third after an errant throw by Wheaton. And now the score after Cardinzana and Clark scoring is now Blue Eye 4, Wheaton 4. And that was some good base running by both Clark and Cardinzana there after that base hit to center by Crofhamel.
Now we have number 4, Keegan Hobbs, up to bat.
And if he gets on, we'll have McClinton back up.
Back it out. Back it out. Back it out.
Looks like a little ground ball to the, looked like the right side. I'm not exactly sure who made the play there. And it looks like Hobbs is out at first, which will end the second inning. And we will take a quick audio break in just a moment. But up for Wheaton, it looks like we have the 8, 9, and 1 spots in Bruton, Meyer, and Mitchell. We'll be back in just a second.
You stop talking.
You see my camera?
Yeah, I see him. Nice. Yeah, that's a nice shot.
What happens when you're dying?
Well, I'm gonna have to bring you a big present.
What is it?
He's got his camera on the roll of toilet paper I brought him because his nose keeps running.
That's disgusting. I cannot
Well,
eat.
babe,
Did you copy my earlier message about the screw?
No, did you get it done?
You must not have heard me. Just saying, let's not tighten the screws down like that anymore, and make sure the plate is as far forward as we can get it, because right now I'm able to take it out, so let's just not screw them in as much.
up to bat.
Yeah, help me remember that.
All right, in those warm-up pitches, Cruz looked to be throwing some strikes in there. Let's see if he can carry this over. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, but I believe we have number 3 up to bat. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Is Cole's camera
He is
working?
their left fielder.
He's almost.
Alright.
Oh, and that is a hit
Cole,
by
how's that
pitch
camera?
Cole, I'm going to you.
by Cruz on Bruton, the left fielder. And that will put a base runner at first for Wheaton. And their next batter is...
Is number 10, Chad Meyer, their right fielder.
And Meyer struck out looking last time he was up to bat. So let's see if they have changed their approach here with him. The ball does get a little bit in the dirt, but McClinton is able to slide right on over and stay in front, or keep the ball in front. We do have a 1-0 count on Meyer, and the runner does stay at first in Bruton.
In and out, because when one of us is talking, and someone else tries to talk,
Yep.
that's why it's doing it.
Runner is going to go. They tried the old hit and run here. Ball is put into play, but I believe foul, and that will send number 3 Bruton back. And I believe that'll put us at an 0-1 count, Tyler. I think that was the first pitch, correct?
I am not sure on that.
I'm starting to get forgetful in my age, man. I need to get one of those clicker things
What's
up
JJ?
there.
Yeah.
All right, he puts the ball in play again. Looks like a base. It appeared to be a ground ball on the left. No, I'm sorry. It looks like a base hit to the left side. Might have been a shallow left field base hit. We have runners at.
Looks like they got,
Oh, did they get the lead runner?
I think they did.
Okay, so they must have got the lead runner over at second then. So that'd be a fielder's choice. Bruton will be out on the play, but Meyer does get the base hit, or the fielder's choice, I should say. And Meyer's now on first. And the first pitch by Cruz to is it Mitchell.
Yes, it is. Number
Mitchell.
7, Jack Mitchell.
All right, was a ball. And so we're at a 1-0 count with Mitchell. Runners at first, takes a decent lead. Does not go. We have a pop fly. It looks like a fly ball to, looks like Cruz or McClinton made the catch.
I think it was Cruz.
It did appear to be Cruz. So over on the left side near the third base line, Michael Cruz makes the catch, and we now have 2 outs.
And number 4, Ricky Miller, is now up to bat.
And last
The
time
coach is
Miller
right in the
was
way.
up, it looked like
The coach is always in the
he
way.
had I can't read my notes, but it looked like a double. And I believe he advanced to third on an overthrow, if I remember correctly, or stolen base. But we do have an 0-1 count now, I believe, on. So Miller, correct?
Yes.
All right. Crew's coming set again. We got the ball up in the air again. It looks like the center field. Clark does make the catch, and that will be 3 outs. The Blue Eye Bulldogs limit the damage, no runs score, and we have a tie ball game at 4-4 here at the going into the bottom of the third. And batting for Blue Eye in the bottom of the third will be Tyler. It looks like we have McClenathan and George in box. Is that who you have?
I think so.
All right. Unless Keegan did not. No, I believe Keegan did get the bat. So I believe we have McClenathan, George, and Box coming up to bat here at the bottom of the third.
Oh, Gary. I'm on you right now, Thomas.
All right, we have Chase McClenathan up the bat now for the Blue Eye Bulldogs. And last time McClenathan was up, it looks like he just got hit by the pitch. McClenathan will take first, but last time before this at bat, McClenathan did hit a double, drove a deep double out to left center, and then was able to advance to third on a overthrow, or a throw to home, I'm sorry, by Wheaton. So it appears like, Tyler, who do we have up to bat now?
We have number 2, Jeremiah George.
And Jeremiah George last time up to bat did get a single, but he was
he good?
picked off at second after a caught fly ball that Brandon Box hit. So Jeremiah George, though, batting 1 for 1 today. Let's see if he can keep on going.
If I keep on doing this for next week, I'm going to have a 10.
I need a 10. I've got umbrellas, though, tomorrow for the rest of the year.
Okay, the runner is gone. We have a hit and run called, but McClenathan's going to have to get back on the caught fly ball, and they do double him up. That's the second time today that Blue Eye was doubled up on a caught fly ball and pickoff involving the middle of our lineup with, in this case, McClenathan and George. I'm not sure exactly where Jeremiah hit the ball, but we did have a fly out and a pickoff to get McClenathan over at first because he did not get back in time. There's now 2 outs, and we have an 0-1 count on, who do we have up, Tyler?
Number 10, Brandon Box.
All right, and Brandon Box did drive the ball a little bit last time, and it looks like he's able to put the ball in play over on the left side again. But the first baseman for Wheaton makes a pretty good little dig out of the dirt, and that's going to be the 3rd out and the bottom of the 3rd. We're now moving on to the 4th with a tie ball game. Wheaton with 4 and Blue Eye with 4. And up to bat for Wheaton in this next inning will be, I'm already losing my place, Tyler. Who do we got?
I've lost my place too. So.
I think it's Pruitt, Reed, and Harper. I think I found my spot. Okay, so Pruitt, Reed, and Parker's coming up to bat in the top of the 5th. All right, and it looks like up for Wheaton is number 13, Brody Pruitt. And let's see how Cruz does against Pruitt here. Last time he was up to bat, it looks like we had a ground out.
It's baller.
I didn't quite see where that pitch was, Tyler.
Yeah.
It was up or outside. I couldn't
It
really
won't go
tell.
off
Seemed to
if
be
you
up and
move
away,
the
so we have
camera.
1-0
If you
count.
move it every so often. So
All right,
like
one
if
right
the
in the middle
limit
there,
or
and
out, or
it's
kinda like
swinging,
pin
and he
your
misses.
finger, not
That's a
right now,
1-1
but
count
Yeah.
now on Pruitt.
it shouldn't go off if we move it.
Ooh, goes right back in, a little bit on the inside part of the plate. Good strike by Cruz there. We have a 1-2 count. Hey, and he gets him on the swing. That's a strikeout swinging by Pruitt. I believe that is Cruz's first strikeout of the game. And we are going to now move on to, who do we got, Tyler?
Clay Reed, who wears number 20.
All right, and I believe Reed plays the shortstop position. Is that correct?
Yes, he does.
Good job, guys. Thanks. I'll zoom all the way out.
All right, way off the plate is Cruz,
Yeah,
low
they
and
strike
away.
out and they throw the ball around. Good idea.
I think Cruz was a little pumped up after that strikeout. Had a little too much on his ball. Hung on to it just a little bit too long, but let's see if he settles back in right here.
Oh,
Not too bad of a pitch, a little bit low. Kind of hitting the dirt, but not a bad idea. Cruz just needs to take a little deep breath here and set himself back up.
oh yeah.
Hey, and there's a nice little pitch on the outside part of the plate. Cruz is fighting back now with a 2-1
It actually feels
count.
great with those cards.
Yeah. We'll be there for a little bit maybe.
If we could just have a tiny bit.
Oh, sure.
Okay, off the plate again.
If we could just
3-1
have a
count
tiny
now, isn't
bit
it?
of rain.
Yeah, I
I
believe
mean, not
we're
rain.
at 3-1. Yeah, it appears they went to the scoreboard. Looks like 3-1 as far as I can tell.
Okay, we're back on.
Their situation here. Oh, and he drives that ball. Oh, this is deep in the left. It's off the wall. He's going 3. He might be thinking 4. Nope, he goes in sliding into third. A nice hit triple by, who was it, Reed, Tyler?
Yes, it was.
By Reed. That was a hard hit ball to corner of the left field fence. Really nothing they could do there. Left fielder was booking it for us and just couldn't quite get there.
Now we have number 6, Peyton Harper, their first baseman, up to bat.
So when the ball goes out like that, is Cole doing it?
All right, Harper's in a pretty good chance here to drive
All
in
right.
that run off that nice hard hit ball by Reed.
Oh,
All right,
strike.
Cruz gets him swinging at a little, I wouldn't call it a high pitch, but a higher strike. Gets him swinging. We have an 0-1 count. A strikeout would be huge right now for Blue Eye if we could get this.
He hits that ball and he's going home.
And this is the second time that Harper has been hit. He was hit by the pitch again. Harper has yet to put the ball in play or go down swinging him.
Now we have number 14, Kelton Parks, their third baseman, up to bat.
And that also puts us in a first
This is
and
good.
third situation. So with the 4-4 ball game here in the fifth, you know, it's kind of a, you can go either way on the call here. I would say most coaches would probably try to send that runner to get something happening here, especially with only one out. But, you know, depends on what speed you have on too, and I'm not too familiar with his speed over there at first. It looks like he does take off, and he is safe at second, and I believe the runner will stay at third as well. Does not throw Blue Eye off. The runner's
Team is kind of slacking on second
runner at
base.
third does
Yeah.
stay, but the stolen base does go to, I believe it was Parks, or I'm sorry, Harper, correct?
Yes, it was.
All right, looks like
That might be good.
Parks was hit by the pitch as well. Cruz is losing a little bit of control here, and just looking at my little notes right here, the 4, 5, 6
So what happens if
batters
they move like an
have
inch?
all been walked or hit by the pitch
Yeah.
by Blue Eye so far.
They shouldn't get called out.
Now we have number 5,
It kind of looks like
Cade
it did.
That's
Woolaway.
what I thought.
Woolaway pops it up behind the screen, out of play, and that leaves us with the bases loaded, I believe with only one out. Woolaway with an 0-1 count.
Okay, one of you guys, whenever they hit the ball, one's going to need to zoom out so we can see everything, and one's going to have to follow some runner.
All right, Cruz adjusting some of his equipment, it looks like. Drying off his hand a bit.
If it's like something short and there's a chance of somebody getting thrown out on first or second, then follow or at home or something.
Be a tough situation for Blue Eye to get out of without a run scoring. But we have a swinging
Nice.
strike right there on Woolaway. Ball's up just a little bit. And the best thing Cruz can do right now is just keep pumping those strikes in, make them put the ball in play. Let your defense do a little bit of work. Ball seems to be up a little bit again. I believe we have a 3-1 count.
I believe you are correct in that.
All right. I always lose track of them balls whenever we have so many walks going on. He does put the ball in play. Looks like a base hit to left field. I know for sure at least one run scored. And it looks like that'll be the only run that scores with the base hit to left field by Woolaway.
I believe that brings number 3, Toby Bruton, up to bat.
It does, and with only one out in the top of the 5th, Wheaton does lead 5-4 after that run scored. All right, first pitch by Bruton is a swinging strike. Bruton's going to get back in the box, and Cruz is going to get back on the rubber. Both are going to go back to work. Ball is up. We have a 1-1 count. Again, bases loaded. All right, and there's a called strike. We have a 1-2 count on Bruton. And on the last batter on Woolaway, I could not quite make out if it was a drop fly ball or a base hit. It appeared to be a base hit. But, you know, with our angles here. Hey, and we got a swinging strike 3. That is now 2 outs. Bases are still loaded on Bruton.
And that brings number 10, Chad Meyer, up to bat.
All right, and going back to that ball over in left field, again, I couldn't quite tell if it was a base hit or an error, but either way, it did advance a run. Hey, ball's put into play. It looks like the center field. Clark's making a little run on it. Clark drops the ball over in center. We have an error on the center fielder. At least 1 run scores, possibly 2, after the drop fly ball in center field. So we're going to mark that as an E8 or an error on the center fielder. And I believe it looks like 2 runs scored. And if that's the case, our score is now 7-4, Wheaton on top of Blue Eye.
Looks like they have a runner on first and third.
Okay, so if there's a runner at first and third, then I would say that 2 runs did score since we had the bases loaded last time. And so that means, I believe we have the catcher up. He is geared and down to help speed games along a little bit. If there's a catcher on deck with 2 outs, or even if they're in the hole, the catchers gear up as much as possible in case there's an out before them so they can get back on the field quick. We have a foul tip, goes back to the screen. That is strike one on the catcher, Jack Mitchell. Mitchell has only been on base once today with a walk. He's also flied out to the pitcher and struck out. Cruz comes set. Pickoff attempt to third. And pretty close play, but he is safe over there at third. Was able to apply a tag, but the runner was definitely safe. But a lot closer than it might have appeared. Cruz coming set again. All right, we have a fly ball. It looks like hit to left field. I apologize, it was not to left field, it was to the left side. And I did not quite see who made the play there. But either way, that is the third out. And I believe after we're going into the bottom of the fifth. And I believe Wheaton leads 7-4 over Blue Eye. And I will confirm that score in just a moment. Yeah, it does look like 7 for Wheaton and 4 for Blue Eye. Coming up for Blue Eye in the bottom of the fifth,
Okay, I'm switching Cole.
we should have
I'll switch Cole. My battery's starting to die.
Brandon Box, Michael
So can I
Cruz,
have your
and Ryan Cardinzana.
walkie-talkie?
All
That way
three
you and
put
Cole
the
can
ball
talk
in
back
play.
and forth and he can get a hold of me. You keep this
It
one.
appeared that the
Just unplug your thing there.
bottom of the lineup did the most damage so
My
far
thing
for
broke.
Blue
I might
Eye.
have to send it.
And we'll
I'm
see
gonna
if they
have to
can
send it
continue
back.
that going
Mine.
and then get the top of that
This-
lineup going
whoops.
again.
Oh, sorry.
This part right here broke out. No, you keep that. You keep that. I'm
Oh,
trading you this.
okay.
You can keep that if you want, because that's going to be yours. We'll put that in your box, okay, babe?
All right.
Okay, so you got this?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, Cole, come on.
Thomas, can you hear me? Same.
Huh?
Same.
Hello. 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 Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you, Thomas.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Thomas. Thomas, I'll cut to you. Send my camera one.
All right, and it looks like we're back in action here. I could not tell on the first pitch what happened, but we do have Brandon Box is up to bat, and
Looks like he got hit right in the back.
okay, and actually I apologize, that was not Brandon Box up to bat, that was Michael Cruz up to bat, and he did get hit by the pitch. And that's right, Brandon Box did get out last inning at the end of the inning. So, all right, so we do have a runner on first to Michael Cruz. Ryan Cardinzana does come up to bat. Last time, Cardinzana had a nice little hit to left field, nice hard hit ball. Hey, there's a pass ball, and Michael Cruz is going to try to advance to second, and he will make it in standing after the pass ball thrown to Ryan Cardinzana. This could be a good opportunity for Coach Avery to call a bunt here to see if Cardinzana can get on base here and possibly move Cruz over, but let's see what he has in mind here. He does try the bunt. A nice little bunt laid down the first base side. And I believe, looks like they're calling it a foul ball. Foul ball. Really wasn't a bad bunt. Nice down the line there. But just as we know with bunts, they go foul quite a bit too. So, again, maybe if he goes with that route again, he can straighten it up and possibly move Cruz over and try to get a base hit for himself. Pickoff attempt to second base. And it looks like Cruz is safe. Carden's on again, ready to go.
Can you ask Jackie if she wants to switch with me?
He's going to go for the bunt again. This time the bunt is fair. Let's see if he can beat out the bunt. He doesn't beat out the bunt, but it does move the runner, Michael Cruz, over to third. A nice sacrifice bunt by Cardenzana, and that puts us at 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And we have, Tyler, who do we got coming up?
We have number 13, Lance Clark, up to bat.
All right, and Clark last time up, I believe, got walked and was one of the scoring runs in the last inning. Up and away for Clark. That leaves Cruz over at third. And again, with the lefty up the bat, something on the ground to the right side will most likely score Cruz. There's a pass ball. Cruz is going to go. It's going to be a close play, though. It looks like Cruz is sliding in. The run does score. Blue Eye is now only down by 2 runs with a score of 7-5 on the pass ball. Cruz does come in and score, and Clark will continue to bat. And while the umpire's getting situated again, hats off to Coach Avers, Coach Parrish, and our maintenance crew here at Blue Eye. They do a great job of keeping the field looking good. Anytime the camera pans out, I always like to see how sharp our field looks. Ball is high to Clark. He takes another ball. And again, I'm uncertain of the count. I believe we're at 2-0. I believe it was ball 4 there, so it must have been a 3-0 count. Clark draws another walk, and that will bring up, Tyler, who do we got?
That'll bring up number 7, Dakota Powers.
All right, and so with Clark on first, we have a little bit of speed there. So let's see how Coach wants to approach this right here. Dakota Powers last time did strike out, but he gave a good little at bat. He did bring it up, I believe, to a full count, or at least a 2-2 count. Runner is going. He does overslide. He does go over the bag, off the bag, but there was no play. Clark is in safe at second on the stolen base. I think Clark just had a little bit of a late slide and kind of hopped over the bag, but was able to stay on without getting out. Fake bunt by Powers, but a called strike after he pulls back. And again, I'm uncertain of the count. I believe we're at 1-1.
Thomas.
All right, Powers does foul it off, so that puts him at a 2-strike count, regardless of what it was before. Looks like we are at 1-2, it appears, I believe, is what the umpire held up.
Okay, why did he throw it?
Ooh, that was a strike 3 called, it looked like, on Dakota Powers. A good pitch.
Can you hear me?
And so we now have 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and our leadoff guy, I believe it's Jarrett Crothamel, Tyler, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, Crothamel, shortstop.
You can probably keep that on your belt or something. Camera 1.
All right, a step off and look to second base. No throw, though. That's the cool thing about that second base pickoff. You don't have to throw on any of your moves to second base there. All right, and the ball moves a little bit away from the catcher, but not enough for Clark to advance to third.
You can zoom in a little bit more. So you want to stop.
A little bit off the plate. Catcher tried to frame it. Last time Kaufman was up there, he did get a single.
Keep going. Right button.
Ball on the inside part of the plate, called strike.
Perfect.
That has been a consistently called strike by the umpire today. And if pitchers can keep that spot
All right.
down at the lower end and move the ball back and forth, it would be a pitcher's best friend there. Oh, and Crothamel gets a nice little drive on one. Drives to the left fielder.
I believe it
But
was
I believe
caught.
he did catch it. You're right. It was a nice little drive, though. Just right to him, though. That puts us at 3 outs, and after 5, Wheaton is still leading Blue Eye 7-5. And who do we got coming up next, Tyler?
I am unsure. I've lost my place again.
All right, and I'll see if I can find out here real quick. I believe we had Pruitt, Reed, Harper, Parks. I believe, see, Chad Meyer had there was that dropped fly ball. I believe we're somewhere towards the top of our lineup again. Again, I did not bring an actual scorebook. I'm just kind of making mental notes here, and so I am losing my spot quite a bit. But we'll find out for you at the top of the 6th inning, and we'll get back with you in just a moment.
How's that?
You're live, bro.
How is it?
You're down real quick.
How is it?
That looks great. Remember, if they slam that ball, wait for me to take you off, so I'll say 1, and then you're cue to pull out, okay?
Copy that, Thomas.
Yeah. Let me think about that for a
So
second.
we have number 4, Ricky Miller, their center fielder, up to bat.
And so if it's a steal or something like that, Jackie, you'll get that in a decently
I believe last time Miller was up. Again, if I'm looking at my notes correctly, he did fly out to the center fielder. He did also have a sac bunt earlier in the game as well. Also a fly ball to first baseman, Jeremiah George, at the beginning of the game. He puts the ball down on the ground. Pitcher Michael Cruz throws it to first, but he is safe. Looked like he had a bunt base hit there. Again, I wasn't looking up at the time, but I don't know if it was a swinging bunt or if he just laid down a bunt. I believe he just laid down a bunt.
Was
from
that
what I
out?
could tell. But either
that
way, we have a base hit.
So
in the
2 more outs
infield,
and that's in game.
and Miller is on first.
Well, actually,
And that brings number 13, Brody Pruitt,
So
up to
5
bat.
more outs.
I think so.
Dang.
Pruitt has walked, grounded out, and struck out today.
So if you can zoom
And
in,
he starts off with a low ball 1 count.
keep going, I'll tell you when to stop.
Alright. This keeps on.
What's up?
It keeps on tuning off. So
Okay. Can you hear me right here when I'm talking like this?
yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
All right, the runner does go.
Throw it. Don't throw it.
There was a play at second, but it appears that he is safe. Ball just did not get in there in time. And it might have even gotten past Cardinzano, but
But you
Hobbs
threw
was there to back it up. Stolen base goes to Ricky Miller, the center fielder. Here's looking at his runner back there. Coming set.
I'm going to throw it to your
Strike
feet.
called right in there. It looks like on the middle to our part of the plate.
You literally could have
There
just
is in
set
his
it
middle
down.
infielders communicating right there, it looks like. All right, we have a swinging strike this time. I believe we have 2 strikes. I believe we're at 2 strikes on him now. A called strike and a swinging strike on Pruitt. The runner is going to third. He does get the runner at third. They were able to apply the tag over at third base, and it looks like Jeremiah George is over at third, who was able to make that play. So the runner is out at third on the attempted steal, and that is, oh, go ahead, Tyler, I'm sorry.
And that is, I believe that is number 20, Clay Reed, up to bat.
I believe you're correct, and Yep, you are correct. Which leads me to wonder what happened to Miller. Or I'm sorry, Pruitt. I'm wondering if Pruitt struck out, if it was a strike him out, throw him out situation there. Because I do not see a base runner on first base. If I had to guess, it appeared that Pruitt did strike out and Miller did get thrown out at third. But we had a hit by pitch right there on Reed, and Reed has been walked every time except for the triple he hit last inning.
And that brings number 6, Peyton Harper, up to bat.
It may not necessarily be a bad idea to walk Reed if he's driving triples back to the fence. That might have been part of Coach Avers' strategy there. I'm not really sure. All right, we have a ball off the plate. No advancing for the runner. McClenathan, again, doing a great job keeping that ball in front of him. Going back to Chase's junior high days when he played for me, Chase was a wall. He didn't let much past him. He does a great job behind the plate there, and it'll be a hard void to fill after he graduates. We have a foul ball down the left field line, out of play, I believe. But I believe last year Chase was an all-conference selection, if I remember correctly. And does a good job at bat as well. Again, hopefully he can lead these young players this year and leave a legacy for them after he graduates. Ball's put into play. It looks like a base hit to right center. Ball's thrown in to the cutoff. I believe one run did score in that situation.
All right, Thomas, go back to your spot.
5-7.
I just got it.
I see somebody on first
And third. Okay, so the run did not
Okay,
score.
but if I'm
Okay,
at
the
the team,
first
so it
is,
doesn't matter.
or the
other
third,
team
he
does
did
not
stop
matter.
at third, and that
Shooting for both teams right now.
We gotta be biased.
will be the same score, 5-7. No run scored in that.
It's called
Well, but we do have a first and third
Okay, cool.
situation. And a hit by pitch. And that is going to load the bases for the Bulldogs, for the Blue Eye Bulldogs. We're going to now have a bases loaded situation. And I believe, Tyler, is it our second baseman up? Is that correct?
Not right now, I'm sorry.
I
Trying
think
to play
so,
me?
but
I was looking
yes,
at
it
a
is.
different
It's
Trying to play
Cade
me?
Bullaway.
Alright, so
Got it.
Woolaway swings at his first pitch. We have a strike called on Woolaway so far. Woolaway is putting the ball in play every time. Alright, we have a 1-1 count. He has put the ball in play every time for Wheaton. He's grounded out to third. He's had, looks like a single, and I believe another single to left field. And I'm uncertain of his third at bat, but either way, doing a good job putting the ball in play. Well, that sun's just vicious out here, Tyler. I know it's
Yeah, it's
terrible for a pitcher, I know, but that's part of the ball game. You got to learn to adapt, and you got to learn to, accommodate to those, whether it be the weather or the time of the year or the field you're playing on or whichever. In our situations, it's pull that hat down just a little bit more and keep going. But no strike called on Woolaway. I believe he has 2 strikes on him now. And we have runners at second and third. No throw down on the first and third play there, a double steal play, I'm sorry. Ball inside, and it looks like he draws the walk. Woolaway will take first base, and it'll bring to bat
number 3, Toby Bruton.
and Bruton has walked, been hit by the pitch, and struck out today.
And it looks to me like the bases are loaded.
I believe bases are loaded because the runner's over at second, third, and the walk. We have a strike on the outer part of the plate to Bruton. Cruz starting off strong with 0-1 count. Oh, and it looks like Bruton puts the ball in play left side, but I believe it's out of play foul. So I believe we have an 0-2 count, if I remember correctly. I believe he started off with a called strike.
I think so.
A little bit off the plate, but not a bad idea to see if he'd go chasing after it. Again, if I remember correctly, I believe we're at a 1-2 count now. And still in Cruz's favor here. All right, puts the ball in play. Gets past the third baseman, Jeremiah George. I believe it was a base hit right past him in the left field. And I believe it scores at least 1 run, if not 2.
I see someone on first and second.
Okay, nobody on third.
Is that good?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, I believe,
Don't
I
pull out
believe
as
2
far, but
runs
that was
did
good.
score.
That was good.
And that now puts Wheaton at 9 and Blue Eye at 5 with, I believe, is it Chad Meyer up the bat?
Yes, it is. Number 10, Chad Meyer.
Myers struck out looking, gotten on base during fielder's choice, and got on base after a drop fly ball in center field. Ball inside to him, a 1-0 count. Ball's a little low. McClenathan tries to frame the ball, but no success. Looks like Cruz might be getting either a little bit tired or winded or off kilter just a little bit. We have foul ball going back off of, I believe, McClenathan's helmet, but either way, it is a foul ball and it does count as a strike.
Yeah.
All right. Foul ball again, it looks like, and we have 2 strikes now on Meyer. And a chance to get an out right here. Yeah, and I believe Brandon Box and Jeremiah George just simply switched spots on the field. Probably to get Box a little bit of work over at first base, being the freshman there, and George being a junior. Just giving them some equal playing times on positions they might have to play quite a bit. All right, Meyer does put the ball in play. It looks like over to left field. It is a fair ball, and it does go back to the corner. I believe we have Powers throwing the ball in, hits the cutoff. But I believe some damage has already been done, and I believe at least 1, if not 2 runs did score. I think 2 scores did run.
I'm so tired.
Or 2 runs did score, I'm sorry. And that now puts us at Wheaton 11, Blue Eye 5. It makes you wonder if Coach Avers is going to come out and visit with Cruz, or if he's going to leave him in the ball game.
That brings number 7, Jack Mitchell, up to bat.
And Jack Mitchell, their leadoff guy, has been on base 2 times today, I believe. Ball gets away McClenathan a little bit, ball 1. And since we are in the 6th inning, yeah, we'll get back to that in a minute. I'm going to look at a few things here. All right, swinging strike there by Cruz.
My legs.
Dude, this is nothing, bro.
Okay, so someone who's on the show.
I was standing the same amount you were, bro.
No, I'm actually standing wrong than you were.
I said
Cruises a pickoff to second base. Oh, it was a close play, but he was able to get back in time. Nice pickoff by Cruz, and middle infield doing a great job communicating and being there. Not a bad play at all. Runner was able to get back, runner being Chad Meyer over at second base. Okay, and it looks like we have a driven ball to right field, and I believe the catch was made by, Brandon Box over at first base. Again, with the angle we're sitting at with the sun, it's kind of problematic to see every play here, and we're trying to do our best to watch from the cameras as well. Our camera crew today is doing a great job, giving us some good angles, and we're going to play around with this a little bit since this is our first live stream of Blue Eye High School baseball ever, as far as I know, and hoping that we continue to provide this to you as time goes on. But in the bottom of the sixth, we will have Blue Eye coming to bat, and we'll have our batters up next time we come back.
Touch the mic. Touch the mic.
All right, and we're back here, and I believe we have Keegan Hobbs up to bat,
Yes,
number
we do.
4, and he does get hit by the pitch, so that's a good start for Blue Eye.
And that brings number 14, Chase McClenathan, up to bat.
All right, McClenathan, if you remember right, had that deep drive earlier in the ball game. And a correction on my score, it appears that the score is 12-5, Wheaton over Blue Eye at this point. George with his lead at first, gets his secondary, no advancement. McClenathan takes the ball.
I believe that's Hobbs at first.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you, it is Hobbs. Like I said, I'm getting forgetful, Tyler. The ball gets away from the catcher, and Hobbs will advance to second base on the pass ball, puts Hobbs in scoring position. Maybe if McClenathan here can get another good drive, he can drive in that run and make it a little bit closer ball game. Just got to be able to chip away at that lead.
Looks like they're turning the lights on out here.
Yeah, as soon as that sun hits that tree line, it gets dark pretty quick out here, and I don't think we'll have any problem today with temperature, but usually the temperature drops just as quick. I don't know, we had lower 90s, I believe, at the beginning of the ball game today, so I don't think temperature will be an issue today, but I know sometimes these fall games can get pretty chilly when that JV game starts.
Pull out a little bit.
It looks like there's a pitcher's mound visit right now, and again, they'll probably keep their pitcher in the game, but with the pitch count rules that started last year,
Go to the mound.
coaches do have to sometimes watch how long a player stays in the ball game. Again, I don't have the list in front of my face right now to tell you, but I do know that per grade level, a student's allowed to throw so many pitches per game maximum, and then they have to take 4 days rest on that number. There's a number of pitches they can throw for 3 days rest and 2 days rest and 1 day's rest and no days rest. So coaches do have to keep track of pitch counts for pitchers, but it looks like number 13 is pitching for Wheaton, and that is Pruitt still. So Pruitt is going to stay in the ball game, and his coach may just go ahead and give him the rest of this game, unless he gets into some kind of trouble with some Blue Eye offense here in a minute. So again, I'm not 100% certain, but I would almost say Pruitt's probably going to have to take the 3 or 4 day rests after his game today. Again, I'm not sure if Pruitt's a junior or senior or freshman or sophomore, but your grade level does have a little input on how many days rest you have to have too. Looks like another ball to we have Jeremiah George. Is that correct? No, this actually looks like
I believe it is Chase McClenathan.
well,
Yes, it was.
Well, McClenathan's on second though, and Hobbs is up.
And that brings Jeremiah George up to bat. No, it doesn't.
Okay, so George must have been up to bat and is now on first, but it didn't look like George. Coach Avers may have brought in a substitute. We'll see if we can find out if it was George or not. That's on first. But Box is up to bat now with no outs, I believe, in this inning. A pass ball means that 1 run will score, and that puts runners now at second and third. So score now for Blue Eye is 6, Wheaton 12.
Okay, they did bring someone else in for George.
All right, and it looks like number 1. Is that what it looks like?
Yes.
I believe that is Braden Boyd playing for Jeremiah George's spot at this point. So Braden Boyd, the freshman, getting some playing time as well. Ball is high to Brandon Box. I believe he has a 2-0 count. Again, Box does a pretty good job putting the ball in play. He's a strong enough kid that, if he gets a hold of one, it's probably going to go somewhere. So it looks like a 3-0 count. Either Wheaton's pitcher Pruitt is losing a little bit of gas, or he's just trying to pitch around Box a little bit. But it looks like a low inside strike right there. Good pitch by him. 3-1 count. Runners at second and third, and McClenathan and Boyd. Box drips one over to left field. He lets it over to left field. 1 run will score. Coach Avers is going to hold up Boyd at third base, and we now have runners at first and third. Box with the hard hit single to left field, and the score is now Wheaton 12, Blue Eye 7 after that hard hit ball by Brandon Box.
And that brings number 8, Michael Cruz, up to bat.
Up to bat, number 8, Michael Cruz.
And Blue Eye now has a chance to do some double steal plays if they so choose. Box is at first, and we'll see if he wants to take off or not. Box is not going to go. We will hang on to the ball, throw it back to the pitcher, and we are still at first and third with Cruz to bat. We have a 1-0 count. Ball is high, 2-0. Does not appear Box is going to be moving, but we'll wait and see. Ball's off the plate, 3-0. And I would almost guarantee that Box is not going on this pitch. And Cruz will probably take the pitch, but again, we will wait and see. Ball is low and in. Pitch is taken. Walk is drawn. Bases are now loaded for Blue Eye with Cruz at first, Boyd at third, and Box at second.
And that brings number 23, Ryan Cardenzana, up to bat.
All right, and you got some options here with Cardenzana with the bases loaded and no outs here, so he could do some magic here as well. He does get a strike called. It looked like on the outer part of the plate. Tough one to swing at, but we can let one go, especially in the bases loaded situation. Ball's off the plate a little bit more that time, so we have a 1-1 count. Looks like they called a balk on the pitcher, I believe, and so that will move the run in. The pitcher did balk. I thought he did, but I wasn't real sure. The umpires did catch it. We now have runners at second and third, and Blue Eye now has 8. Wheaton has 12.
How's the comp?
I believe umpires called time.
The comp.
Looks good. Pan right, just a teensy bit. Just a teensy bit.
All right, and Cardinzana's still up
Right
the
there,
bat.
perfect.
The ball goes behind Cardinzana.
Okay, perfect.
Another ball here. It looks like number 13, Pruitt, is losing a little bit of gas here. We'll see how much longer he stays in this ball game. Off the plate, pass ball. 1 run will score. And that would be Box that just scored. The score is now Wheaton 12, Blue Eye 9. We have a runner at third, Michael Cruz. And Cardinzana still at the plate. It looks like a coaching visit for the Wheaton Bulldogs at this time. And I believe they will be making a pitching change. And it looks like number 14, which is, Tyler, you might be able to find it quicker than me.
Kelton Parks.
Kelton Parks will be throwing
This is long
now in
inning.
the ball game for the Wheaton Bulldogs, and we will take a quick break while he warms up.
I don't.
Well, your opinion is noted.
Good.
This actually wins you a little bit, man.
You're not muted, by the way.
I'm not. Should be.
Try again.
All right, and it looks like Cardinzana's still up the bat with, I believe, a 2-1 count. It's very odd for a pitcher to be changed out in the middle of an at-bat, but Wheaton decided to go ahead and do it. It looks like a 3-1. The ball gets away. Cruz will attempt to score, and Cruz is safe. Okay, at a tag at the plate, Cruz is safe, and the score is now Wheaton 12 and Blue Eye 10, with Cardinzana, I believe, with a 3-1 count up at this point. Blue Eye's making this a ball game in the, I thought it was the 6th inning. I believe it is the 5th inning. I can double check here in just a moment. Cardinzana puts the ball in play, but it's right back to the pitcher. Pitcher makes the nice little toss, gets Cardinzana out at first, but that is, I believe, the first out of this inning for Blue Eye. So a little bit of damage is being done, and we now have number 13, Lance Clark, the lefty, up to bat.
That'll work.
Clark drives the ball. Looks like a base hit over into right field. Clark with a nice little hit there.
Up to bat, number 7.
And that brings number 7, Dakota Powers, up to bat.
All right, so good job for the freshman, Lance Clark. And the base hit to right field.
Zoom in a little bit, Thomas.
And Dakota Powers will now come to bat and try to do some damage and move Clark over. Okay, Clark is going. He is safe, it looks like. Again, kind of an aggressive slide, oversliding just a little bit. Takes a little getting used to. But either way, I like how hard he runs. You can't replace that. And I'm not sure on the call. I believe it was a ball. But again, I was not watching, to be honest with you.
I'm thinking it was a strike.
Okay, so Tyler, and there's a strike for sure anyways. And Old Blue will let us know for sure what the count is. Tyler thinks it to be 0-2, and I think it to be 1-1. And I believe the scoreboard is correct in that it is the fifth inning. I think I jumped ahead of myself a little bit earlier. But I believe, again, we are in the fifth. 10-12 ball game. I will confirm for sure in between innings. Okay, Powers gets a hold of a little high one, fouls it back. Regardless now, Powers has 2 strikes on him of what the count was before. And Powers does strike out swinging. Clark is still at second base, and we now have 2 outs.
And that brings number 11, Jarrett Crofthamel, up to bat.
One thing about that freshman group in junior high last year, they averaged about 8.5 runs per ball game, so they can put the ball in play quite a bit. They're obviously adjusting to that varsity pitching right now, and again that'd be Box and Clark, Powers, Jones, Cardenzana, and even Boyd and a few others. They did a good job putting the ball in play. And hope they continue that success up here in their high school years. All right, middle infield trying to hold Clark. He is going to go. He is going to make it to third. A nice jump by Clark. And some decent speed gets him over to third. But pretty easy play, really. He did have to go on sliding, but was able to successfully steal third with Crofthamel still batting with 2 outs. Crofthamel gets a base hit here. That will make this a 1-run ball game. Blue Eye really doing some fighting this inning to get back in this ball game. Ball a little off the plate to Crofthamel.
That's a 2-2 count now, isn't it?
I believe so. Oh, 14 just reared back and threw it right there. You heard that mitt pop.
Yeah.
Oh, and Crofthamel puts the ball in play to the outfield. Looks like to left center. Center fielder, number 4, does make the catch, though. And that takes us now to the 6th inning. And Blue Eye, again, is trailing by 2 to Wheaton, 12-10.
How many?
I can get off now?
Yeah.
I got tied up in my innings. I thought this was going into the 7th, but it's not.
I thought it was 2. Want to know why I thought that? Well, that's because you said it.
So long.
Everybody's at home going like, oh.
What camera are you on?
Thomas.
Hey, we got thumbs down there so we can actually see.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I can actually look up now.
It's prime time right now, boys.
That's right.
Number 4, Ricky Miller, is currently up to bat.
Thank you. Get off your phone, boy. You're gonna get distracted. No, not. There you are. No, not.
That's a strike thrown to Wheaton there.
Anytime anyone's on their phone, they're distracted.
Puts it in play. Left side of the infield. He is safe. He beats out the throw from the left side of the infield.
And that brings number 13, Brody Pruitt, up to bat.
Right. Pruitt began this ball game as a pitcher. I did not catch where he moved to in the field,
Neither did I.
but I would assume either third. Sometimes pitchers, they like to put them in the outfield to give their arm a little bit of a rest. But they might have moved him to third, which I believe that's where Parks was before. Yeah, Parks was at third before, so they may have just done an internal switch with those two spots. I'll try to keep an eye on that next time we come out. Ball in the dirt by Cruz. Better getting his sign. Runner on first. Runner's going. McClinton has one in the dirt. Not much he can do with that. So runner will move to second on the stolen base.
Is it good? Cole,
What?
is it good?
Zoom in more.
Oh, and we got a nice little hit here by Pruitt. Over in the left field. Pruitt's going to get a single out of that, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. Pruitt will be going into second base. And now, with no outs, Wheaton has runners at
Is it okay?
second and third.
It won't be okay. If we want to make this look good, you can't be on your phone.
But it is good.
And it looks like Coach Avers is coming out.
Remind me not to have you on camera again, okay?
We'll see
Yeah,
if he
put me on the
looks
field.
like he's going to take the ball.
Camera person.
And
Put
let's
me
see
on
who's
the
going to
field.
come in and pitch for the Blue Eye Bulldogs now.
You'll be on your phone the whole time.
Thinking about it a little bit.
Sounds like band phones or something. What?
Looks like
Jeremiah George, isn't it?
Jeremiah George.
The ratio of me to you being on the phone is like 5 to 1.
Okay, and I know Blue Eye has a conference game tomorrow against Spokane, so it makes you wonder.
What's doing on your phone?
How long is George going to be throwing today? And if he does throw quite a bit, who is Coach Avers going to go with tomorrow? Either way, Cruz was appearing to get a little bit tired, and pitching change hopefully will keep Blue Eye in this ball game. As long as this doesn't go into extra innings, say 30 minutes maybe?
Probably.
30 to 40. All right, and the umpire clears off the plate, and we'll see our first pitches from Jeremiah George here in just a moment.
That is number 20, Clay Reed, the shortstop, up to bat.
First pitch to Reed was a strike. Looked like a pretty good pitch from Jeremiah George up there. Comes set and he goes again. Again, nice little pitch. right down the zone. Looks like George is feeling his zone right now. We'll see if he goes right back after him with those runners on second and third. Again, we don't have any outs here in the top of the 6th inning, but we do have an 0-2 count on the batter. Okay, hard hit ball, left side, plays at third base, out at first, and I believe, did the runner stay at third?
I think one advanced to third.
Okay, so one run did score, and that's pretty typical for the ground ball on the left side there. We now have a 10-13 ball game with Wheaton on top, but one out in the 6th inning with a runner on third. Ball up and in a little bit. Wheaton coming back into the box. George set. Nice pitch by George.
We got 2 outs, right?
That is a 1-1 count.
I believe you are correct. Ball down the dirt, not a half bad idea. But now George is going to have to fight back now with the 2-1 count here. And we got a little drive by Wheaton. It looks like it dumps into left field. All four Bulldogs in that general area got to the ball, but it was in that no man's land where anybody could get it. The run will score from third, and Wheaton now has 14 and Blue Eye 10 with still only one out.
And Kelton Parks, their third baseman, is up to bat.
Ball high, and if you remember right, last inning Parks did come in to pitch in relief for Pruitt. When Blue Eye had a little bit of a rally going right there. Okay, George throws the ball again. Nice little strike right on the edge of the plate there. George has the ball again. Again, runners at first. George comes set. Ball in the dirt. Runner stays at first. McClinton again does a great job keeping that ball blocked and in front of him. That's one thing about McClinton back there. He ain't afraid to get dirty. He'll keep that ball there. All right, nice little strike on that outer part of the plate again. George is liking that spot as far as the strike is concerned. If he keeps going there, that'll be a tough one for hitters to hit.
And that is a 2-2 count.
Yep.
So.
It looks like he goes off the plate a little bit more than normal that time to see if he'd chase. Really not a bad idea by George there. And off the plate, runner does move on the pitch because of the full count. And we now have runners at first and second. I believe third base is open, but first and second we have runners occupying. And we have one out here in the 6th inning of this game between the Bulldogs and the Bulldogs.
And now up to bat is number 5, Cade Woolaway.
Woolaway swings at a high pitch there and misses, and strike one. Jeremiah George ready to throw again. Nice pitch in there. We have an 0-2 count on Woolaway. A nice pitch, strikeout swinging is Woolaway, and we now have 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
And coming up to bat is number 3, Toby Bruton.
It appears Jeremiah George is in a nice little groove right now. If he can keep this up, again, Blue Eye still have a chance to get this ball game on their side. Nice pitch by number 2, Jeremiah George. Inside part of the plate this time. You'll see Ryan Carnzana occasionally in there, working that runner at second base, keeping him there, him and Crothamel. But Jeremiah George now has an 0-2 count on Bruton in the top of the 6th. And that's a nice strike 3 swinging. Jeremiah George sets him down. Blue Eye will come to bat in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 14-10. All right, in the bottom of the 5th, we have Blue Eye coming up the bat. And it appears that we have, I believe Keegan Hobbs is up the bat. I believe Tyler was telling me that he thinks Keegan's up, and
Yes, it is.
I believe you are correct. Keegan puts the ball in play, but foul ball on the right side. Out of play. Ball in the dirt. Their catcher does a great job of keeping that ball in front. And now that the sun's went down and we get a little relief from the heat, but also it's a little bit easier to see on these cameras now. Looks like we have a pretty good view right now.
Yeah.
Hobbs is putting that ball on the play on the left side, it appears. And it looks like it's a foul ball. A little grounder on the infield that rolled out. And I believe he's at a 2-2 count, if I'm thinking correctly.
It looks like what the scoreboard says.
All right, very good.
Can kind of see the lights now.
Yeah. Hobbs again fouls another one off. Stays alive, 2-2 count still. See if 14 here tries to throw him off a little bit, or if he keeps going right after him. And he did fool him that time. It looked like with some kind of off-speed pitch of sorts, maybe a changeup or a curve. Either way, it did fool Hobbs, and Hobbs is a victim of the strikeout. We have one out here in the bottom of the 6th with Chase McClenathan up the bat. Ball a little bit off the plate, 1-0. Again, same place, off the plate and low a little bit. Clanathan with that 2-0 count right now. Down the dirt, we're at 3-0 for McClenathan. And let's see if 14 wastes a pitch here or if he goes right after him. He does call the strike on him. 3-1 count. And fouled it off, which makes it now a full count, 3-2. Number 14 battling back as a pitcher there. McClenathan still staying alive though. Again, McClenathan staying alive, fouled it off. Back to the right side. Looks like the umpire's asking for a few more baseballs. Getting low back there. Had quite a few fouls, foul backs this inning, foul tips. Again, McClenathan staying alive, fouls it back to the screen. Batter on deck will go after it. And it appears that Jeremiah George will be taking his batting spot back from Braden Boyd. My guess would be Braden Boyd was brought in to base run for Jeremiah George, but then Jeremiah George did re-enter the ball game, it appeared, and since he is pitching, he will hit for himself. McClenathan drives the ball on the left side on the ground, and he did not beat it out. The throw was made. I believe it was the third baseman who made that play.
Yes, it was.
And nice little throw over there, it looked like, and got McClenathan by about a foot or two.
And that brings number 2, Jeremiah George, up to bat.
All right, let's see if Jeremiah George can bring his groove over from pitching to batting now and get a base hit to keep the Bulldogs going in this ball game. That's a hard little hit. And I believe the shortstop made a nice little play there, was able to throw out Jeremiah George, gets him out first base. And that concludes the 6th inning. 3 outs, I believe 3 up, 3 down. And we will be moving on to the top of the 7th. And we'll see if Coach Avers keeps Jeremiah in the game or if he saves him for tomorrow against Spokane. right, Blue Eye just threw her down. Ball's coming back into the pitcher, and Wheaton will be up to bat here in the top of the 7th.
I believe that is number 10, Chad Meyer, up to bat.
Chad Meyer up to bat at a 14-10 ball game. Nice pitch by Jeremiah George. Strike one, 0-1 count. Looks like Coach Avers will keep Jeremiah George in the ball game, hoping to get that win here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Or 7th inning, I'm sorry, bottom half of the 7th. But right now we're in the top of the 7th, and Blue Eyes got to get those 3 outs before we get to the bottom. Ball's low and then dirt. Looks like we got a 2-1 count, I believe. All right, fouled off, hit McClenathan back in the helmet. Seems to be all right. Shakes it off, throws the ball back to George. And here we go again. All right, ball off the plate a little bit. Looks like we got a full count now, I believe, with George pitching. Hard hit ball on the left side. Ooh, and it was a close play at first, but it looks like Wheaton was able to beat that one out just by a hair after the throw from, I couldn't really tell if it was Crothamel or I would assume Cruz is at third. Either way, I couldn't tell who was able to make that play.
And now we have number 7, Jack Mitchell, up to bat.
All right, and runner stays at first. Took a pretty big lead in secondary, looked like, but number 10 is going to stay there at first for the time being. Number 10 being Chad Meyer. Mitchell shows bunt. He puts down a bunt, and the play is going to be at first, and he is out at first. So Mitchell with the sacrifice bunt moves Chad Meyer to second base. 1 out now in the top of the 7th.
And Ricky Miller, number 4, should be up to bat now.
All right, Ricky Miller again playing center field at the beginning of the ball game. George set, makes the throw. Strike called. Runner stays at second. Got an 0-1 count on Ricky Miller. Miller waits for the pitch and swings and misses.
That's an 0-2 count, is it not?
I believe so. Jeremiah George in a good situation right here as a pitcher. Looks like we have, I believe time is called, and probably due to pitch count, Coach Avers has decided to pull Jeremiah George from the mound, and he's going to bring in, it looks like Jarrett Crothamel, the shortstop.
Yes, he is.
All right, so we're going to let Crothamel do his warm-up pitches, and I'm sure we will be seeing Jeremiah George tomorrow on the mound against Spokane.
And that is Ricky Miller, number 4, up to bat still.
All right, due to the pitch count, I believe, and again, I didn't keep track, but it does look like Jeremiah George was pulled for that strike, and I believe, Ricky Miller did just strike out on one pitch from Jarrett Crothamel.
And this is, or should be, number 13, Brody Pruitt.
All right, Pruitt takes a high pitch for a ball. Ball 1-0. And we have 2 outs here in the 7th, 14-10 ball game. And swing and a miss there from Pruitt. I'm sorry, not Pritchett, Pruitt. Second base will stay there. Crothamel set, fires it in. Ball high. McClinton had to jump after it. He was able to save it, which means the base runner will stay at second. Crothamel taking a deep breath there, composing himself. Shake it off, you'll be all right. All right, and keeps another one flying high. Ball stays at McClinton's feet. He was able to stop it from going over his head, but the ball then fell out of his glove right at his feet, was not able to find it in time, so the runner at second moves on to third. Again, the runner will not matter if the play is made. Nice swing and a miss there.
I believe that is a full count.
I believe you are correct, Tyler. One more strike and we get to go bat. And that's exactly what happens. Crothamel strikes out the 2 batters he faces, 1-on-1 pitch with some help from Jeremiah George before the pitching change. And then on his own, after a full count, with, I believe, Reed, Pruitt or Reed was up to bat. But either way, it is 14-10. Blue Eye will now be batting in the bottom of the 7th, and this is it. This is do or die. If Blue Eye doesn't score 4, the game is over. If they score 5, we go home a winner today. So let's wait for the conclusion of this ball game. It looks like number 14, Kelton Parks, will stay in to pitch at this time, and we will be back in just a moment.
And now we have number 10, Brandon Box, batting for Blue Eye.
Box is doing a pretty good job of putting the ball in play. We'll see what he does here in the bottom of the 7th. Maybe he could help cut that lead down. All right. Ball in the outer part of the plate, called a strike. Again, that's a pretty consistent call for umpire today, so shouldn't be surprised by it. Nice. Puts bat on the ball, but it is a ground ball on the left side. It looks like the third baseman or shortstop. Again, it's kind of hard to tell from back here. But left side does make the play over at first. Box was not able to beat it out. But he does put the bat on the ball. And as a coach, that you really can't ask for much more other than a base hit. But does put the ball in play to try to do what he can.
And that brings number 8, Michael Cruz, up to bat.
Again, there's that outer part of the plate strike that number 14's using. We gotta catch a All right, and Cruz was unable to beat the throw and is out at first base. We are now at 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and it looks like
we have number 23, Ryan Cardenzana, up to bat.
And Cardenzana is the last hope for Blue Eye. As long as he keeps getting on, we keep playing. Ball's up just a little bit. That's one thing about Ryan there. He's got a nice little tight zone. It's hard for a pitcher to get into. Ball's off the plate a little bit. Catcher tried the frame. We're at 2-0 count. At this point, Cardenzana and the Bulldogs will take anything will be given to them. Pitch a little bit low, 3-0 count. And to be honest, Cardenzana's probably going to be watching this pitch go by no matter where it's at. All right, right down the middle, but that's okay, as expected. Cardenzana will be swinging on this pitch if it's anywhere near or in the zone. Puts the ball in play, right side. Foul ball, though.
And that brings us to a full count.
All right, off the plate a little bit. Cardenzana does draw the walk and keeps Blue Eye alive for at least one more batter.
And now we have number 13, Lance Clark, up to bat.
All right, low strike is called. Right at Clark's knees there, but right down the middle. Kind of looked like a breaking ball. It's kind of hard to tell with the umpire position where he's at, but again, low again. This time too low for a strike. 1-1 count for Clark. Cardenzana's holding up at first right now. Clark puts it in play. Looks like on the left side. Gets past the third baseman over into the left fielder. Comes up, gets the ball. We now have runners at first and second. A little bit of life going for Blue Eye now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Again, it's do it or go home. Well, it looks like we have Dakota Powers coming up to bat. Sorry, Tyler, I know you're getting ready to say it, but and Dakota's got to get a base hit or a walk to keep this ball game going. He starts off with a strike called against him. Looks like outer part of the plate again. Yeah, number 14 is really liking that zone there. All right, swinging at that one. Probably would have been called a strike. He is at an 0-2 count at this point. Choke up a little bit, Dakota. Put that bat on that ball. All right, foul tip, but it is caught. That is strike 3. That is the ball game. The Wheaton Bulldogs take the varsity game tonight with a score of 14-10. And tomorrow we will be playing at home again against Spokane, conference game. So hopefully the Bulldogs can get a win tomorrow to boost their standing in the conference. But they will be playing here tomorrow. I believe the game time is 5:30 for tomorrow, a little bit later start. And we'll see how that game goes. We will see you then. This is Jason Frymar signing off, and
Tyler
signing off as well. See you next time.